I think 3/4 of your team were named yesterday, Bass. Are you able to enlighten us as to who of that 30 is not playing, or are you waiting a bit longer?
Yeah, it's probably not my place to name the team right now, but that'll be out later on today. So, some of those awkward things, but we've got a couple of new guys playing, so which is good.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you can give any specifics, is Mitchy Georgiades going to make the final cut?
Yeah, probably the two, Mitch and Tobin, will both get a game. Mitch has had a very good pre-season and deserves his opportunity, and Tobin's been a terrific young person in our footy club now for the last 16 months, and he deserves a chance as well.
Are you, or is the club sort of surprised at how prominent Mitch's pre-season has been?
He's a bit of an unknown prospect. He still hasn't played the internal trial was his first game since 2018. So, this week's really his first game against opposition for a long time. So, we're not super sure on what he'll do, but, he's certainly been very promising at training, and, we're looking forward to seeing what it looks like in a match.
What's he like as a bloke out there on the track?
Oh, he's great movement, very agile, jumps at the footy, pretty resilient. So, we certainly think he can add something in the air, and then he's got some great legs to get up and back and recover from a contest. In
an ideal world, is he a sort of third tall forward type player? Is that where he'll play his career?
Well, we think so. Him, Todd and Charlie, they're working really nicely together, so it'd be nice to be able to play all of them come the start of the season.
What do you think supporters can expect out of Tobin Cox? Because unless they've watched a lot of sample footy last year, a lot of fans probably don't know much about him.
No, I know, and Tobin's kicked 30 goals in 15 games. He'd probably, fair to say, he's a bit like an old-fashioned forward pocket. Very crafty around goals, got nice hands, very good mark for his size, and still working on his running power, but hadn't played a lot of footy. Had some shoulder problems before he came to us, so he's still learning his way, but he's got some really nice football talent, and then it's trying to get his athleticism up to a place where he can compete at AFL level.
Is that small forward role, obviously with Sam Gray departing the club to Sydney last year, is that small forward role still really up for grabs?
I think we're very competitive at the moment in that space. You've got Connor Rosie, we've got Zach Butters, Motts has been very good this pre-season. Sam Powell-Pepper's spending more time through there. You've got Robbie and Brad. Cam Suckler's been very good through pre-season with Tobin as well. So we've actually had some pretty good, got some reasonable depth in there. I think those guys that were first-year players last year should be better again second time round. And then Motts has probably been the standout performer from a high forward perspective pre-season, and he has been a very good AFL footballer in the past. So we'd like to think he can get back there pretty quickly.
Does Motts does he have a bit of a point to prove? Because I think he didn't play after round 18 last year, and obviously there's a lot of young players in the club the last couple of seasons. Is he, sort of the fire still there for Motts from what you've seen?
From the way he's trained and the way he's acted, he wants to play good footy for Port Adelaide.
So Cox was your wild card in that group a little bit. He had that kidney issue too last year.
Yes.
Missed a chunk of footy as well to get back to the finals. What does he offer some of the other guys may not up there?
Tobin's can be a bit more of a marking target. So, Robbie's not playing this game, and Tobin's the Robbie replacement. Clearly, he's not going to do some of the things that Robbie does, but he certainly adds some scoring power to the forward line.
And long term, obviously, Robbie is in the twilight of his career, so he might be able to play that role moving forward.
Yeah, potentially. That's what we've certainly spoken to him about. Is a bit of a marking target, be good enough to get up and down and play that high forward role, and maybe a little bit of on ball.
You said he's been very good around the club for the past 16 months. What
Yes.
do you mean by that?
Attitude-wise, wants to get better, engages with the coaches, always wanting to talk to us about footy, and tries his best all the time. When he's asked to do something, he does it, and he'll be on the front foot wanting to learn. So, you love coaching those players, and if there's an opportunity that you can give them if they deserve it, then I'm glad that he's got that this week.
Nathan, I think Ken's been in England for a few days. Obviously you haven't been there, but just talk us through, is that a good thing? Does it help you knowledge, I suppose, broaden your horizons when you do stuff like that?
I think it's always good to be around other coaches that are high performers in their field, and Eddie Jones is certainly that. So, for Ken and Matty Loken to get to spend a week there and see what it's like in terms of their preparation, I think for quite a big game this week, without being an expert on what game they're actually playing this week. Six Nations, I think it is. I think it's great for Ken to see what it looks like and get to experience it.
And clearly he's got full faith in, you and the other boys. The system looks after itself.
Yeah, it does. And Ken's back tomorrow, so he'll see the players. We've been on the phone this week. We had a very awkward match committee, I think Tuesday morning, by Skype, where there was a little bit of delay and some uncomfortable conversations, but it wasn't back to... Anyway, it was interesting, but we got it done. He'll be back Saturday.
You didn't get a flag over there, didn't you?
Well, I think Luke's certainly told everyone going around that he was travelling there. Ken got him upgraded to the good seats, so Luke's pretty happy.
Watsy, are we going to see him playing his first senior game for a while this week?
Yeah, Watsy will be a chance. I mean, he's still working through that ankle, and he's trying to get together a good chunk of training. It does take a while to get back from the injury that he had to feel good again, but he'll be close to selection.
What restrictions does Jack still have on the way he can move or the way he can train?
It's more getting comfortable through the ankle injury, so it can take 12, 18 months really to feel comfortable again post-injury. It's more just the soreness of you have days where it feels good and other days where it doesn't feel as good.
Mentally, is there a mental aspect of it for him?
Well, it's more when you're going to run and it's going to hurt. Every time you go, okay, I've got to run and it's going to hurt, it can take a while to get through that little sort of mental block.
Trent McKenzie gets a chance?
Yeah, Trent's been good. So Trent finished the year really well last year. He would have got more opportunities. He was a little bit injured late last year, but he played the last round. There's certainly an opportunity for him to play. Probably that seventh defender spot is up for grabs a little bit in our side. So he's an experienced player. He's got some good assets, and he deserves his opportunity.
How important is winning this weekend as opposed to just getting out and giving the boys a chance to put in what they've been doing all pre-season?
Playing well is important. We only get 2 good opportunities to do it before the season starts. We think we've had some good growth during pre-season. There hasn't been any radical changes, just some minor adjustments to what we do. We're getting much better and consistent actions on the training track that we saw in last week's internal trial as well. So, we'd like to see that flow into an opposition that is very good, that finished right at the top of the ladder last year, and we're pretty close to getting through to the last 4. So, they're a very good team. Is
there scope to change things around at half time, or do you sort of go, we're doing full dress rehearsal 4 quarters here?
There's 26 players, so the guys will spend some more time on the bench, and there'll be probably some opportunities later in the game to make some adjustments that could be useful for us come round 1. But no, we'll be doing our best to play the best we can from the start of the game.
And a couple of firstie guys, Miles Bergman and Dylan Williams, obviously not playing this weekend, but the fact they're not, does that sort of show how competitive and the depth you have at the moment? Because those 2 guys are pretty impressive in the intra-club last week.
Yeah, we're certainly in a lot better space in terms of depth this year than last, and that's nice. Dylan and Miles have been very impressive, particularly the last month. Dylan did a couple of really nice things out there today. Miles got a bit of an ankle tweak at the moment, so he might be out for a week or 2. But Dylan's been very impressive. But we thought we've got enough at going well at the moment where they're not required for selection.
So Miles might miss the 23s game next week?
I think there'll be a good chance he'll miss the 23s game.
Nothing too serious though.
No.